Imagine this. You ask someone a simple question. Did you do it? They say no. Their voice sounds normal. Their words seem confident, but something feels off. Maybe their eyes moved away too quickly. Maybe their hands suddenly disappeared. Maybe their body froze for a second. And without knowing why, your brain quietly whispers, something isn't right. Because the truth is, long before humans learned how to lie with words, our bodies were already telling the truth. And when someone lies, their body begins to fight a silent battle between truth and deception. Most people miss these signals completely, but once you understand them, you start seeing lies everywhere. And the most dangerous sign is the one almost nobody notices. Think about the last time you felt that strange feeling. Maybe a friend told you they were too busy to meet you, but something in their tone felt strange. Or a coworker explained why a project failed, and while the story sounded perfect, their body looked uncomfortable. Your brain noticed tiny details you didn't consciously see. A sudden blink, a forced smile, a nervous shift in posture. You couldn't prove they were lying, but your instincts kept telling you something doesn't match. That feeling exists for a reason, because when someone lies, their brain enters a state of psychological stress, and stress always leaks through the body. Let's imagine a simple story. Jake walks into his apartment late at night. His roommate looks up and asks, "Did you eat the food in the fridge?" Jake pauses for half a second. Then he smiles. "Of course not." His words sound calm, but his body tells a different story. His shoulders tense, his hands disappear into his pockets. He scratches the side of his neck, and his eyes briefly look toward the kitchen. The roommate doesn't realize it, but Jake's body just revealed 4 hidden signals of deception, and none of them involved his voice. Because lying doesn't just require speaking, it requires the brain to manufacture reality, and that's where the body starts slipping. Here's something most people don't realize. Lying is mentally exhausting. When someone tells the truth, their brain simply recalls memory. But when someone lies, their brain must do 4 things at once: create a believable story, hide the real truth, monitor the listener's reaction, and control their own body language. That's an enormous amount of pressure. And under pressure, the human body begins leaking signals of discomfort. Heart rate increases, muscles tighten, breathing changes. Tiny movements appear that the liar isn't even aware of. This is why experienced interrogators rarely focus on what people say. They watch what the body does. But the first sign of lying is not what most people think. Most people think liars move more, but often the opposite happens. They suddenly become very still. Why? Because when someone lies, their brain tries to control their body. Movement feels risky, so the body freezes. Imagine someone normally expressive during conversation. Their hands move naturally, their posture is relaxed. But when a certain question appears, everything stops. Hands freeze, shoulders lock, posture stiffens. It's like the body quietly whispers, "Don't move, don't reveal anything." And this sudden stillness is one of the earliest signals of deception. But the next sign is even more interesting because it happens without conscious control. Have you ever noticed someone touching their face while answering a difficult question? Scratching their nose, rubbing their neck, touching their lips? These gestures are called pacifying behaviors, and they appear when the body tries to calm itself during stress. Lying triggers stress. Stress triggers discomfort, and the brain responds by sending signals to soothe the body. So a liar might rub their hands together, adjust their collar, touch their face repeatedly. They aren't doing it on purpose. Their body is simply trying to release nervous energy. But there's one area of the body that reveals even more, and it's something people almost never notice. Here's something fascinating. The most honest part of the human body is the feet. Why? Because people rarely think about controlling them. When someone feels trapped in a lie, their feet often point toward the nearest exit. Their legs shift restlessly. Their body leans away from the conversation. It's a subconscious survival instinct. The brain wants to escape the uncomfortable situation, but the person doesn't realize their feet are revealing that desire. So while their face looks calm, their lower body quietly signals, "I want out." And once you start noticing this, you'll see it everywhere. But there is one signal that is far more subtle and far more dangerous. The human face can fake emotions, but only for a few seconds. Sometimes a real emotion flashes for less than half a second. These are called micro-expressions, tiny facial reactions that reveal hidden feelings. A quick flash of fear, a sudden twitch of anger, a brief expression of guilt. They appear so quickly, most people never notice them, but cameras slow them down. And once you train your eyes, you begin catching these hidden moments. A smile that appears too late, eyebrows lifting in surprise before a denial, a microsecond of panic before confidence returns. These tiny leaks reveal what words try to hide. But here's the twist most people don't expect. Here's the surprising truth. Not all liars look nervous. Some people become extremely calm when they lie. In fact, skilled manipulators sometimes show less anxiety than honest people. Why? Because experienced liars rehearse their stories, they prepare their body language, they practice confidence, which means the classic signs of lying may disappear. This is why experts never rely on one signal. They look for patterns, clusters of behaviors that appear together. Sudden stillness, self-touching, foot direction, micro-expressions. When multiple signals appear at the same moment, the probability of deception rises dramatically. But the final signal is the one almost nobody notices, and it happens in the space between words. Pay attention to this next time someone answers a serious question. Watch the moment before they speak. A truthful person usually answers quickly. Their brain simply recalls information. But a liar often needs time. Their brain must construct a story, so there's a pause, sometimes just half a second, but it's enough. A slight delay, a tiny inhale, a quick mental calculation. Then the answer appears. That moment of silence is the brain building a lie. And once you notice it, you'll never unsee it again. But here's something important to remember. Body language doesn't prove someone is lying. It only reveals internal tension. Sometimes people show these signals because they're nervous, embarrassed, or afraid of being misunderstood, which means the goal isn't to become suspicious of everyone. The real power of understanding body language is awareness. Awareness of hidden emotions, awareness of psychological signals, awareness of the silent conversation happening beneath words. Because every human interaction has two conversations, the one spoken out loud and the one the body quietly reveals. And once you start noticing it, you begin seeing people in a completely different way. So next time someone says something that feels slightly off, don't just listen to their words. Watch the silence, watch the hands, watch the feet, because sometimes the body tells a story the mouth is trying to hide.